It's finally time. Let's see, check it out, some Marvel stuff. That's loud. More villains. The Defenders. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Let's go do something crazy.
Dang, when did they announce this?
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. It looks like Marvel is bringing back some of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters finally. Everybody's been asking when Chloe Bennett is going to come back as Quake. What are they going to do with the Coulson
I thought they were
character? Will
just
they
gonna
ever
leave
bring
that
him
alone.
back? They kind of already did. I'll explain that and what's going on with their version of Ghost Rider, just because they were
Yeah,
hyping
Ghost
him up.
Rider
He had
gonna
his
come
own
back or
spin-off
what?
series that they were about to roll camera on. Literally, they had finished pre-production on that before they got canceled. Like a lot of you, when it comes to all these TV actors coming back, I always kind of felt like it was a when, not if kind of scenario. Like, long enough timeline, everybody will eventually come back at some point. Like, they just had a big formal announcement where they brought her out on stage with Charlie Cox during the upfronts to hype up her during Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So it just seems like
Man,
the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
spoil
characters
that.
are the next step in them bringing back a lot of these classic TV actors. So we'll break it all down. There's a lot of questions about how they're going to incorporate canon from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's a little bit different with the Marvel Netflix series, and the powers that be at Marvel did start to address this issue of canon during the Echo series when we started to see more and more of the characters coming back. Like you saw during the Hawkeye series with Kingpin coming back first, and then Charlie Cox coming back as his Daredevil during Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you remember the way that those shows and through Daredevil Born Again addressed the Daredevil Netflix canon, the Defenders canon, with them slowly rolling all those characters back in, like Punisher coming back, and then explaining what happened to him during the 5-year time jump, it'll probably be similar for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters that do wind up coming back. But here's where we actually get to the first part, like who is coming back, what's coming back, what are they doing?
Did they
Recently, you
say
probably saw people
exactly who
posting
or
rumors
what?
and reports, announcements about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters coming back. The characters they're talking about specifically are Chloe Bennett's Quake, Clark Gregg's Phil Coulson, the one that we saw at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There have been a couple different versions of Phil Coulson that he played during that series, and Ming-Na Wen's Agent May. When it comes to Fitz and Simmons, Mac, Yo-Yo, those other characters, I don't know about them coming back. Never say never, but they're just talking about the main big
I mean,
three
if you're gonna
characters
bring
right now
everyone,
coming back.
might as well.
If you lost track of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. by the time they hit the end of their run in 2019, it was around the time that Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame were coming out, and Kevin Feige had taken control of Marvel TV, which previously had been run by Jeff Loeb, which had a completely different plan for the future of Marvel TV than Kevin Feige had when he rebooted everything into the Disney Plus era of all the Marvel TV shows under Marvel Studios. This is why all the older Marvel TV
And
series were getting
take that
canceled around that
personal.
period, like Daredevil got canceled on Netflix, Punisher, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all canceled, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canceled. They gave them like the nice run out, like, we're letting you end in a nice way. But really what was going on is they were winding down all those shows, canceling everything, because Kevin Feige was going to go forward with a brand new type of creative, a brand new way of them doing the TV shows and tying them to the movies. There are a lot of other TV shows too on other networks, like you had
They
Cloak and Dagger,
better
you had the Runaways TV series
clutch
on
up with it
Hulu, you had
though.
the MODOK TV series, there was even Hellstrom. Yes, remember Hellstrom? Early on when Kevin Feige was launching Disney Plus Marvel stuff with all the Marvel Phase 4 TV series like WandaVision, the Loki series,
They
like
started
early
cooking that
series,
first, bro.
Marvel basically fired all the people that were working on their TV series, and Marvel TV as an entity ceased to exist. Funny what happens, several years later, everything that old is new again. They basically found out that it was complete chaos and they were not good at making
I'm
TV series.
saying,
Like the
bro.
Marvel movie people were not good at making TV series. So they hired back a lot of the people who made the original TV series, made them good. Best example of that was the very, very troubled production during Daredevil Born Again Season 1, where basically
You had to
the
bring
old
everyone
creative
back.
got fired and they brought back a lot of the people that actually made the Netflix series. They wound up cobbling together a Frankenstein Daredevil Born Again Season 1, which is why Season 1 feels so uneven, but they're completely doing Season 2, so it sounds like it will be quality again now. But essentially, Kevin Feige's big plan for fixing all their TV series right now was to basically bring back all the people that made the really good stuff back in the day. So that's basically why you saw them canonizing
Hey,
Daredevil
he
Netflix
doing what
stuff
needs
and
to
then
be done,
slowly
bro.
rolling in everything else too. Like they were starting with the most quality, like the tip of the iceberg, like the best, and then slowly bringing back all the fan favorite stuff. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was just on that list. It was just lower on the list than say like Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Then there's the fact that people like Chloe Bennett are still extremely young. Like, she could play the Quake character for like the next 50 years and still be younger than a lot of the current Marvel actors that are coming back as their characters during Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars,
Bro,
like all the
hopefully we get
classic
the
X-Men actors
Magnetos,
coming back
bro.
from those movies.
Oh,
it's a match.
oh, that's creepy, isn't it?
If you lost track of the
I
Agents
really
of
hope
S.H.I.E.L.D.
for that,
characters, you don't
bro.
remember what happened to them at the end of their series, they basically gave them the ride off into the sunset, explained that they were off having their own adventures, so they could come back anytime they wanted. Like, nobody got fridged at the end of that series, basically. Chloe Bennett's
They
Quake,
left
Daisy,
it wide
went off
open for that,
exploring the
bro.
cosmos, Agents of S.W.O.R.D. style. They actually wound up canonizing S.W.O.R.D. to the MCU during the WandaVision series. It still exists as an organization, even though they actually had their own come-to-Jesus moment during that series. It's not like Captain America Winter Soldier where they completely destroyed the S.H.I.E.L.D. organization inside the MCU. S.W.O.R.D. still exists inside the MCU.
Barely
Quake
though.
wound up going off to explore the cosmos with Agent Sousa from the Agent Carter series. That's right, Agent Carter, if you remember that TV series. Coulson went through a couple different jumps
Trying to
for
be
them
like
to
Daredevil,
explain
bro.
how he could come back after he was killed during the
After
original
everyone.
Avengers movie. Like, first he became a life model decoy, then he became other alternate versions of the character. Basically, it was a version of that original Coulson coming back with his consciousness. He wound up taking a very, very well-deserved long break to go off and explore the world just in general. So, like, he's still out just traveling around the world in his special car. Agent May became a professor at the S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy in their version of Earth. The way they
I forgot
explained their
about her.
version of
She
Earth,
was
too,
cold,
is that it
bro.
was an alternate timeline from the main
She'll whoop
MCU.
ass.
Even though originally S.H.I.E.L.D. did start out in the exact same MCU as the movies. They eventually got to the point where the canon became so hard for them to tie to what was happening with the movies, and there were so many restrictions that they just basically moved them into an alternate timeline, which is where you get into a lot of the original MCU plans to do Avengers 5 as Kang Dynasty with the Council of
Damn,
Kangs, all
bro. We
the
would have
different
had this
timelines
movie
that was
already,
happening during
bro.
the Loki series in Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror. The really big villain group of that final season
Hopefully
of
we
Agents of
still
S.H.I.E.L.D.
get it
were
later on.
Chronicoms, who were basically time-traveling robots that they could have tied to the Council of Kangs. It would have been really, really easy to do that in Marvel's original plan. Obviously, that all got thrown out the window when they fired Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, and they brought back Robert Downey Jr. as a version of Doctor Doom, and they're doing Avengers Doomsday now as Avengers 5 in a different version of Secret Wars. The entire saving grace of all that mess is Secret Wars, basically a movie that's really easy to explain how characters show up from the multiverse. So they can basically just say that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters
They could just do
either were
whatever,
always
bro.
inside the MCU and it'll still make sense, or they could just say they come from another universe and they wind up in Secret Wars because of what happens with the multiverse collapsing in the more recent Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars run, which seems like they're adapting parts of for the actual movies. So at least right now, it sounds like they're bringing Quake, Coulson, and May back for cameo scenes in Secret Wars, but it's also possible that they bring them back again for future MCU TV series after the big soft reboot
I
that
think
they're
they'll
doing
just
on
do
the
a
MCU,
series,
where basically they
not a
bring back a lot
movie.
of different elements, they tune their backstories, they recast people that they want to recast, and going forward, everybody's always going to have existed on the main version of the MCU Earth 616, but it'll more closely resemble the comic book 616 universe, where everybody from all these different character groups like X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Avengers characters have always existed together, and nobody thinks it's weird, and they don't need any special explainers like, why didn't the Fantastic Four help out during the final battle in Avengers Endgame? Why weren't the Eternals around during that period? What was going on with all the continuity on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with them jumping around to different realities? They don't need to explain any of that anymore. Like, they just sweep it under the rug with a soft reboot. Really easy way to fix
Bro,
a
they're
lot of
gonna
that
be
stuff.
like Spider-Man
When
and
it
not
comes to
show
the
up,
Agents
bro.
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
If
characters
it's
like
not their
Quake, for
movie.
example, very space-based character, very sci-fi-based character. She can do a lot of ground-level stuff, but just in general, it seems like she'd be doing more space-based stuff. They could put her on Nick Fury's space station that we saw during the Marvels movie. She could be doing stuff there on missions with Monica Rambeau, but also there's the upcoming Nova TV series that they're still
Nova.
planning on doing
Damn.
after Secret Wars now. Originally, it was going to be
They better
before
cook with
Secret
that,
Wars,
bro.
but now
I ain't
they
gonna
just delay
lie.
it till after because it's not like a real big multiverse type of movie. So Marvel essentially wants to speed run through Secret Wars, so anything that is not connected to Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars basically got delayed or canceled, which is why there was such a bloodbath with their Marvel Phase 6 schedule in the past couple of days. Like, you heard about them delaying Avengers Doomsday, delaying Secret Wars.
Again,
All
bro?
the other stuff that got delayed or canceled was just because they're so focused on getting through Secret Wars in this soft reboot. So all like real big stuff that does sound really promising just got delayed till after Secret Wars. Another really good example of this is the upcoming X-Men movie that they're doing, which is basically like their big priority after they get done with Secret Wars. They said that the new era of Marvel is generally focusing on 3 big concepts: X-Men or mutants,
Hey, that's fine with
cosmic
me, bro.
stories, and supernatural characters like Ghost Rider, Midnight
The
Suns, that
X-Men,
type of stuff.
love the X-Men, bro.
You never did.
Personally, I think Chloe Bennett's Quake, those characters coming back eventually, owe a lot to the success of Daredevil coming back. Because had that not have gone well,
Oh,
had
yeah,
it gone
bro.
way worse. I mean, it was kind of a mixed bag with a lot of the Daredevil Born Again Season 1 episodes. But had it been really bad, Marvel probably would have pivoted on that again too. Like, oh no, we shouldn't bring back all those classic TV actors. You could definitely tell that Matt Murdock,
they would
a
have
really
pulled
good
the plug
lawyer,
on
has
that,
been
bruh.
negotiating new contracts for all these TV actors to come back. When it comes to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's a little bit more complicated, though, because of everything that was happening with the Inhumans and what Marvel is doing right now with all the X-Men and mutant characters. But everyone, let me know in the comments, which other Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters do you want to see come back in different ways, in cameo scenes or in
Shit, I
bigger
forgot
ways?
that
There's
one
just a
guy,
lot
the
of
one that was
opportunities for
good
this
but
during
turned
Secret
bad.
Wars, even if it's just going to be a background cameo scene with like 1 or 2 lines,
That's
or
a
like
crazy
them in a
story.
big crowd shot. There are also a lot of opportunities to slot in some of these characters into future Marvel TV series as well too. In related news, there's a bunch of stuff happening this weekend because it's Mexico Comic-Con and Netflix is to do. So whatever big trailers they wind up releasing, of course I will do videos about that.
That was it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.